Hey Tamers, and welcome to another deck profile. Today, I can finally showcase my Gallantmon deck profile. Man, it's taken me hours and hours and hours on trying to make the best build possible that I can. And I'm sticking to a deck profile that doesn't involve X Antibody. Besides the X Antibody Gallantmon, that is the only one that I use. We'll talk about it. There's a lot of really good combos with this new Gallantmon that involved the new Takato. So the downfall of Guillamon back in the day, or kind of still similar, still a bit, is that once you build up to your Gallantmon and then it got popped, then that was kind of it. You had to start over and build from Guillamon going all the way up to a Gallantmon. Then we got the starter deck Guillamon that allowed you to warp from, as long as your opponent had a level 6, then you can warp into a Digimon with Gallantmon in its name. That helped. However, still a downfall because now your opponent can still play around that. If they didn't have a level 6, then you can't warp. So now this new Takato that we got allows you to warp, which is awesome. And what I love about it, we'll talk about it, is you're able to do it from getting pieces from your trash. So before we get into it, I do want to do a shameless plug on my shirts. As you can see here, I do have a Guillamon Don't Forget to Draw. Kind of makes you look a little swole, so if you want to be a nerd and be swole at the same time, go ahead and check out my merch down below. Absolutely love this. When I was starting, I always forgot to draw, so made some shirts so I wouldn't forget to draw. Let's get into this deck profile. So as you already see here, we are doing 4 of the EX2 Digimons, and I should have said this, but I'll say it now. You really need to build a Gallantmon that's going to be very fast, because obviously you got Superior running around with Quartz, and that deck isn't slow. It can be pretty fast. So you just want to be quick. The faster you can be, the better, because obviously you get to win, hopefully, before Quartz comes out. So Digimon helps you with that and allows you to draw every time you attack once per turn. I don't know if you noticed, but my Guillamon hanging out over here. So for the rookies, level 3s, you already know we're going to try out the new BT12 Guillamon. It's really good. His on play is okay. Really sucks if you end up playing it and then you have a Gallantmon in there, or Growlmon, or Growlmon, basically a piece that you want, and now it goes to the bottom. So you got to be really mindful of when you hard play this Guillamon. On play, you reveal 4 cards, and you get to add all the Takatos into your hand, which is really nice. If it triggers, sometimes it does, you'll get 2-3 Takatos at the same time, although that would kind of suck. Imagine drawing 3 Takatos. Anyway, so the inherit is where it's good here, because Gallantmon needs DP boost, especially with these decks where where Greymon could be 13,000 even on your opponent's turn. Quartz is obviously 15, I believe. So there's more Digimon that are now over 12,000 DP. And this Guillamon helps with that inherit, giving your Growlmon or Gallantmon in its name 2000 DP, which works out fantastic because it's gonna, if you're running X antibodies, if you're running Crimsons, anything that has Growlmon or Gallantmon in its name, it's gonna get the DP buff. Moving on, we're doing 4 of the searchers of Guillamon. I think this is EX2 as well. Really, really good. This is still the best searcher in my opinion for this deck, because you reveal 4 cards, you get to add 1 card with Growlmon or Gallantmon in its name and 1 Takato, which is so much better than playing that one and only getting Tamers. And then obviously you put the rest in the bottom of your deck. The inherit here, when attacking once per turn, if this Digimon has Growlmon or Gallantmon in its name, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 3000 DP or less. This is good because with the new ability of the Gallantmon from BT12, if you don't want to delete something using his effect, you could pop this, and now you can actually trash one using Gallantmon's effect. So 4 of those, and then here we're splitting up some of the few, but we're doing 3 of the starter deck 7 Guillamons. It's still really nice to be able to warp from 3 to 6, especially if your opponent has a level 6 already, level 6 or level 7. So like I said before, if your opponent has a level 6 or higher Digimon in play, this Digimon can Digivolve into a Gallantmon in your hand for a memory cost of 4, ignoring its Digivolution requirements. Keep in mind, this will not work trying to go into Gallantmon X antibody because it's closed brackets. It just has to be Gallantmon. The inherit for this Guilmon is really good. If you pop a Digimon, which more than likely you're going to because this deck focuses on popping Digimon, you get to draw one card per turn. Then to top off the rookies here, I'm doing 3 of the promo Guilmons. I did say that I want to build this deck to be as fast as possible, and having a Guilmon going up to breeding area, to battle area, swing, draw 1, and then draw 2 from the Digimon. The Digimon allows you to draw a card when you attack if you do have Guilmon, Growlmon, or Gallantmon in your name. We are running 14 rookies. I know that's quite of a bit, especially because we have a mulligan and you kind of don't need to run that many rookies, but there's ways to bring Guilmon from the trash and or your hand and play him for free, which is why I'm doing that. I kind of want to keep it a little aggro and kind of whiteboard in a bit when I can. So that's it for the rookies. Now let's move on to the champions. We'll just drop the new ones. You already know I'm going to run those. When Digivolving, if you don't have Takato in play, you may play one Takato from your hand without paying for its cost. The inherit here, same thing. If you have Growlmon or Gallantmon in your name, it gets 2000 DP in its name. You get what I'm saying. So 2000 DP. With the other one, that's potentially up to 4000 DP that your Gallantmon can get, making him a 16,000 hitter. Potentially still the best Growlmon, I think, is this Growlmon from Starter Deck 7. The inherit, your turn once per turn. When an opponent's Digimon is deleted, gain 1 memory. Which happens, and it will happen, especially if you're at 4 and you Digivolve. If you're at 3 and you Digivolve for 4 into that new Gallantmon. When Digivolving, pop something, you have this down there as an inherit, you go back to 0, and now it's your turn, allowing you to attack still. Insane. It's really nice. It's really, really nice. What I love about this too, as well, is that it's a 4 cost to play, so you're able to just drop it for 4. Then for the last 3 champions I'm running the purple and red Growlmon from EX3. Obviously these are erratas, or have been errated, right? So instead of on deletion, it's actually when Digivolving. So when Digivolving, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 3000 DP or less. If no Digimon was deleted by this effect, both players trash the top 2 cards of their deck, which is really nice. Sometimes I don't want to pop things. I'd rather trash stuff from my deck. So that's another reason why I don't run the DP increase. Of course, if you want to go that route, you definitely can. The other thing here is when attacking once per turn, you may delete one of your other Digimon to have this Digimon gain security attack +1. And there you have your champion lineup. We're running 11. It is quite a few, but given the amount of rookies I'm running, having enough champions, because it sucks when you brick, you just have a lot of rookies and you have no champion. It sucks. It sucks. Let's move on to the ultimate lineup. And we're doing 4 of the new War Growlmon. This card is busted. I love this card so much. There's so much, right? I mean, look at all that text too. Anyway, when Digivolving, you delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 4000 DP or less. If you didn't delete something by that effect, you can Digivolve into a card with Gallantmon in its name. So what that means is you can actually Digivolve into Gallantmon X Antibody because it says Gallantmon in its name. In your hand for its Digivolution cost. When this Digimon would Digivolve by this effect, reduce the Digivolution cost by 1, which is awesome because now X Antibody is going to cost 3. The new Gallantmon is going to cost 3 instead of 4 because they're a bit pricey, but this is what helps that and mitigates it, that cost, that heavy toll cost of 4. Now the end of attack once per turn. This is so busted. End of attack once per turn. If your opponent has no Digimon in play, and that Digimon has Growlmon or Gallantmon in its name, gain 2 memory. Just wait till we get into the combos here, because it's so nice. And then 4 of the purple and red War Growlmon, and this is how we're gonna get Takatos to get to play for free. This is how we're gonna get Guilmons to come out and widen the board or play for free. And what's awesome, well, let me talk about this. Digivolve 3 from level 4 containing Growlmon. When Digivolving, both players trash the top 3 cards of their deck. Then if a player has 5 or more cards in their trash, you may play 1 Guilmon or Takato from your hand or trash without paying its memory cost. So that's where trashing from your own deck, you get the benefit, or you see the benefit of doing that, I should say. Just really quick here. We're going to get into combos here because before I'll forget. I do forget. And then once I think about it, I'd rather just go through it and talk about the combos. So here we go. Here's something that can happen, right? You got these two. You'll Digivolve. Let me move these to the side. You got a Growlmon. Say you're at 3. You don't have the other one. You can't go into Gallantmon for whatever reason. Let's go ahead and Digivolve for 3. Right? You go to 0. You draw. You trash. Even if you don't have 5 cards in your trash. If your opponent has 5, now you get to play a Guiomon. Now what I love to do, especially when I play a Guiomon from my trash or hand, usually if I have it in my hand, I'm not going to play it from my hand. I'm going to play it from my trash. Because you always want to make sure you have a rookie that's on the building up in the raising area. So I'll always play that one unless you want to play the other one in warp, but at that point you play this one. You play this one, now you reveal 4 cards. Now you're going to get a Tocado if you don't have one. More importantly, I like to get this. I like to use this effect to get Crimson mode because that will kind of do it, and that's what we're talking about combos. So now let's say this is what you got. They have, I don't know, if you want to go security attack +1, you can right here, right? And this is just one combo. Obviously it gets more nasty, but you'll end up using Growlmon's effect, pop your Guiomon. Now he has security attack +1 with an inherit of 2000 DP. Now you're swinging for 2 checks at 10,000 DP. So there we go. That is the ultimate lineup that I'm running, just those 4. If you really want to run the X Antibody War Growlmon, you can do 2 and 2 if you'd like, or you can do 3, 3, and then 2. However you want to play it. Really, it just depends how you want to play the deck. There's no right or wrong way of playing it. This is just my personal preference. I think it's better, at least in this format, to try and make Gallantmon as fast as possible. I do want to take a little break here and thank all of you guys for that amount of support I'm getting on that Wargreymon video. That's insane. I almost got 2K views in like less than a week. That's amazing. Thank you so much. If you guys, obviously you guys appreciate it, but if you guys do appreciate it and you guys haven't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button, hit the like, and again, thank you so much. Let's keep it going. With the level 6s here, where the hell did I just put them? There they are. With the level 6s, we're doing 4 of the Gallantmon, the new one from BT12. Before I get into it, when I first started, I had one of the old BT1 Gallantmon that trashes when you attack 10 cards. He kind of does the same thing, so I kind of just put it at 4. So this Gallantmon has Raid, which is a fairly new mechanic that just came out last set in BT11 with Marsmon. So what Raid is when this Digimon attacks, you may switch the attack target of attack to one of your opponent's unsuspended Digimon with the highest DP. Keep in mind, let's say your opponent's field is just like an ultimate, and I don't know, I can't. Let's say this is their field here. Obviously, if you use Raid, it's gonna target him. If you're suspended, or if let's say this Digimon is suspended, and then you go ahead and swing using Raid, this is your target. You can't target this, obviously, because obviously it's suspended, right? So just a little FYI. So that is what Raid does. Why is Raid really, really nice? Well, if you clear board, which Gallantmon is really good at doing that, kind of clearing board, and I've stated in my Wargreymon deck profile video, if you have Raid and your opponent has no Digimon, if they play a Digimon, they're gonna pass turn most likely, or they're gonna have summoning sickness. They're just gonna Raid over it. You're just gonna keep clearing their board, because even if they're unsuspended, now you're just swinging over. It's all busted. So moving on, when Digivolving, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 6000 DP or less. That's just a when Digivolving. So now if you got the starter deck Growlmon here, if he's under your inherit, you Digivolve for 4. Your one Digivolving triggers, you're at 3 by chance. You go to 1 because you Digivolve for 4. You pop it using the one Digivolving effect. This triggers. Boom. Now you go to 0, and now you can still swing, which is awesome. Gallantmon's when attacking is delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 6000 DP or less. If no opponent's Digimon was deleted by this effect, trash the top card of your opponent's security stack. That is so nice, especially in this format, because you see nothing but tamers. And if you're gonna hit security, more than likely you might hit a tamer, and you don't want that. So imagine just burning a tamer, just like, oh nope, they're going straight to the trash. And again, that's why this one with this starter deck one works so well. And that's why they kind of has the same ability, so to say, right? So when you digivolve, let's say they do have a Digimon with 6,000 DP or less, or even if they have, let's say, an ultimate with 8,000, you digivolve, you know, for some reason you go to 1 and you don't pop anything, well then that sucks because now your turn's over. That's where that Blitz Tocado comes into play. Anyway, so let's say you are at 4, you go to 0, you don't pop anything because it's 8,000. Now what you're going to do is you're going to raid, pop that, uses 1 attacking, says nothing got deleted, now you just trash the security. To me, that's more safe than giving it security attack +1 because you don't know what you're going to hit. And then if you hit a quartz in security, now you're kind of SOL, and now he gets popped. So this is why I prefer to kind of not really build up that DP increase, because I rather just trash, if that makes sense. So absolutely love this Gallantmon for sure. And then, of course, as I already stated, I'm running Gallantmon X Antibody. I'm only doing 3. This is awesome. The reason I'm doing this one is because, like I said, you can actually, I was about to say warp, you can actually digivolve War Growlmon into Gallantmon X Antibody using War Growlmon's effect. So this Gallantmon X Antibody, you can digivolve 1, or a memory cost of 1, from Gallantmon. So you could actually digivolve on top of that Gallantmon for 1. When digivolving, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest DP. If no Digimon was deleted by this effect, unsuspend this Digimon. That's really awesome because sometimes you don't want to leave them suspended, especially if they're about to, you know, go into their Mega, which is more than likely going to get a DP buff. So once you end up, let's say, swinging over something, you trash something using the 1 attacking effect, and you don't want to unsuspend. And even if they have, let's say you couldn't pop another Digimon, now after you swinged, you'll digivolve for 1, and this is going to unsuspend, or you're going to pop that because now that's the last thing on their board, and it really doesn't matter as far as DP wise or DP wise. So you could use this Gallantmon to kind of clear the board, and if there's something that you can't clear, you'll just digivolve for 1, and even if you're suspended, now you clear their board. Or again, another good thing to do is if you don't want them to get popped and you don't pop anything, you just unsuspend. Your turn once per turn. When an opponent's Digimon is deleted, if Gallantmon or X Antibody is in this Digimon's Digivolution cards, trash the top card of your opponent's security stack, which is awesome. So again, going through those scenarios that I just talked about, if you end up popping something with Gallantmon X Antibody, you already burned a card with BT12 Gallantmon, Digivolve, pop something, now you trash something else. You trash 2 cards in 1 turn, potentially. That's it for the level 6s. 3 of the new Tocados. It's good because he's a memory set tamer. It's another thing that the Gallantmon deck did need. So start of your turn, leaves you at 3. During your main phase, once per turn, by placing this tamer and 1 Growlmon and 1 War Growlmon from your trash in any order as the bottom Digivolution cards of one of your Guiomon, that Digimon may digivolve into Gallantmon in your hand for the cost, ignoring its level. The Digimon digivolved by this effect gains 2,000 DP. So there's one reason why I don't run any of the X Antibody cards, Guiomon, Growlmon, War Growlmon, because it's in closed brackets and it doesn't say in its name. So therefore, if you run that, you can't use them to warp into Gallantmon. What's awesome is that even if you have Rush, right? Oh, I'm sorry, even if you don't have Rush and you, let's say you're at 3, you do have 1, right? So you have a Tocado, right? This is just my 1 copy of Tocado. You play a Guiomon. Now the fact that you could still just warp and go into Gallantmon, you place a starter deck Growlmon to pop something. If something pops, and you can obviously play probably put that one because the other one doesn't have an inherit. So now, even if you just pop something and you go to 3, now you have a Gallantmon on board, and now they have to deal with it. So I love that. I really love that, and that's what makes it better than the starter deck Gallantmon, as opposed to your opponent has to have a level 6 on the board. The card that's probably the best in this deck is the old Takato, and I am running 4. I can't justify not having 4. He gives you Blitz. What more do you want me to say? He gives you Blitz. More than likely, you're always going to pass turn when you Digivolve. Being able to attack and then having the War Growlmon gain 2 memory back if they have no opponents, no Digimon in the field, gaining another memory by Growlmon, gaining a memory from himself. I don't understand why you wouldn't run 4. So when an opponent's Digimon is deleted, you may suspend this tamer to gain 1 memory. There you go. Your turn. When one of your Digimon would Digivolve into a Digimon with Gallantmon or Growlmon in its name, that Digimon gains, when Digivolving, Blitz. He's what makes the deck really work and really aggressive. That's just, well, like I said, we'll get into the combos, but that's my opinion right there. One option card, Red Memory Boost. If you want to run 2, if you really don't like having 4 Takatos for some reason, then you can cut it and do 2 if you'd like. If you want to run X Antibody, then there you go. That's another way to do it. But Red Memory Boost, reveal 4 cards of your deck, add 1 red Digimon card among them, and then you get Delay, gaining 2 memory, which does come up. Last but not least, 2 Crimsons, because Crimson closes games. Crimson closes games, especially with the Kato Blitz. Amazing. So, when Digivolving, delete all of your opponent's Digimon with the highest DP. So in case you didn't get to pop anything with the Gallantmon BT12 or X Antibody, go ahead and Digivolve. Now they're going to get popped, especially with the highest DP. So that's one way of getting rid of Quartz. When attacking, trash the top card of your opponent's security stack, period. So you trash 1. Then, add 1 number of cards trashed by this effect for every 10 cards in your opponent's trash. What does this mean? If your opponent has 10 only, you're trashing 2. Because first sentence is, when you attack, you just trash 1. Then you check if you have 10, and then for every 10 that your opponent has in their trash, you trash another one. It's nasty. Let's get into these combos here. Alright, so let's say you're at 3, it's your turn, you got a Gallantmon in the breeding area, sorry for the glare. We're going to move up. If you're here, you could already practically go into a Gallantmon. Whether here, you'll warp and go into a Gallantmon. If you want to go this way, you could Digivolve for 2, draw, Digivolve for 3, and now here's where he comes in handy here, okay? Because now you Digivolve, you don't delete anything. You don't delete a Digimon with 4000 DP or less. Now you can Digivolve into a Digimon with Gallantmon in its name. So now you can pick your choosing of X Antibody or Gallantmon. In this case, let's go for this one. It's going to cost 3. 1, 2, 3. You're going to go to 5. You're like, holy shit, that's a lot of memory. Yes, but now if you Digivolve and you pop something with DP of 6000, now you suspend here, gain 1 memory, and now you Growlmon, Digimon got deleted, gain another memory, and now you have Blitz. I can go ahead and swing, either pop something else again with this attack. If that doesn't happen, now you trash 1. You can use Raid to clear the board, and then you can trash 1. And then, of course, when attacking, here's where I was talking about where if you don't want to use Gallantmon's when attacking to delete something, you can go ahead and use Gallantmon's when attacking, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 3000 DP or less. And that way, if you do that, now his one attacking, you can trash 1 instead. Now you swing, you draw 1. Now here, if you clear their board, now end of attack, you can gain 2 memory. So you're literally 1 Takato away from going back to 0. And you did all that, and it's still your turn at 3 from a Gallantmon. Now what you could do there, from there, now you'll Digivolve to 1 if you want to. Boom. And now he's unsuspends, and now he still has Blitz. So now you can swing again. Now, granted, all these were once per turn, but if you burned 2-3 security, and this is basically a hybrid free game, in a sense, right? Again, this is why I think he's just paramount to have. All right, I'm gonna paint the picture to you with security. That might help. So move up, and now if you don't have the sources in your hand, they're in the trash, right? So you just got like megas and a crimson, and you're like, WTF, I have no champions, no ultimates. Well, now that's where your boy Takato from BT12 comes into play. You'll Digivolve for 4, go to 1, and you can put these underneath that Takato in any order you want, depending how you want to put them. Bam. Now he's going to get 2000 DP. I think I said that. Boom, going to 1. Now you pop something. And even if you don't pop something, you got Blitz, right? Either or. So let's say you pop something. Okay, boom, you pop something. You gain 1, 2, Growlmon, 3 memory. 1, 2, 3. You go back to 2. So it only costs 1. Now you're going to swing. And let's say, there was a Digimon here. This is your opponent's side of the field. So say you pop something. Okay, it gets popped. And then you trash a card. Right? You trash the card. Or if not, if you didn't, you didn't pop your security. If you didn't pop anything, now you burn 1, and now you hit another one. So now you're at 3. Now you can Digivolve for 1, unsuspend because your opponent's not going to have any Digimon. You're at 1. If your opponent has 20 cards in their trash, this should be game. Because now you're going to Digivolve for 6. Pop something else, you go to 5, right? Swing. You trash 1 automatically when attacking. So there you go. And now if they have 20 cards, trash 1, trash 2, and now you swing for game. And I did all that starting with 3 memory. So that's the power that you can do with the Gallantmon. And that's exactly why I'm saying you need to build it to be fast. Get all the pieces, and yeah. Okay, so let's say for whatever reason you have a Gallantmon, right? They have, let's say I don't think it matters how much security they have. Oh, I might need that card too. And you want to go aggro. You're trying to win as fast as possible. You would Digivolve for 2. And now if something gets popped, now you gain a memory. You go to 2. If not, you can trash, right? So if you don't delete something, both of you guys trash 2 cards from your deck, which is really nice because now that whole combo that I was talking about, you're building your trash. So if you end up having that War Growlmon and that Growlmon in your trash, then you just need a Gallantmon, and that's exactly why I'm running quite a bit of Gallantmons in this deck. So let's say you end up trashing 2, and now you Digivolve for 3 here, right? You go to 2, bam. Now both players trash top 3 cards, then you play another Takato or Gallantmon from your trash. And then again, as I've stated, depending which Gallantmon you want to run, but we'll do that one. So now that his on play activates, you reveal more cards, and now you have Blitz. If you'd like, you can go ahead and swing, draw 1, pop this Gallantmon if you really want, and then security attack +2. Hopefully you do survive. So again, that's the thing that I was talking about there. Let's say for your starting hand, again, sorry for the glare, but you got a Digimon down here. Let's put him here. Let's say this is what you drew. Kind of bad, right? I mean, you got 3 rookies and 2 ultimates. You can make this work. If you're going first, what I'm going to do, I'm like, okay, well, I need to draw some cards. I'm going to go ahead and Digivolve to the promo Gallantmon. Bam, you draw. Now, it depends what you draw, right? But let's say if you ended up drawing a Takato, right? Takato, okay, oh, I drew a Takato. Nice. That's awesome. I still need pieces. So now there's where I would just drop him. And then you reveal cards, and then you either can get another Takato, or especially what you're looking for now, a champion. Let's say instead of drawing the Takato, we drew a champion. Like, okay, well, I could kind of build up here. So instead of playing this Gallantmon, let's start looking for some Takatos, and now we draw 4. And now when it's your turn again, let's say you end up getting a Takato or not. That's going to suck if you don't, but it's the risk. Now, on the following turn, you can go ahead and swing and you'll get 2 draws. And then you can build up this Guillemon if you like. So I can obviously keep talking for hours and hours on combos and things that you could do with the deck. And I gotta cut it off at some point. If not, you guys are not gonna watch this video. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Keep a lookout for Shine Greymon because I'm working on that bad boy. See you guys.